Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Nur Shakira binti Sulfaka. So today I would like to introduce our team. We are from the team 4. We making the webinar for office healthy lifestyle practice. Then we are team 4 choose to as a technical team in webinar. In our presentation, we talk about the content. Is number 1 is introduction, and number 2 is egg diagram, WBS, RAM and sequence table, network diagram, schedule table, identify the critical paths, resource requirement plan and graph, risk assessment metric, cumulative budgeting, cost table and graph. Number 3 conclusion, and number 4 sharing experience and issue and challenges.
Okay, for team technical, we have 5 members, which is led by Shakira and followed up by Aina, Rahmah, Farhana and Aida. Technical team, we have divided for 4 roles, which is platform, questionnaire, Q&A, and finally is reports. For platform, we will be testing and evaluate the best platform that can be used for webinar, and finally we choose Telegram. And secondly is a questionnaire form. We defines for the target audience and deliver the questionnaire and compile for the response. Thirdly is Q&A seasons. We will filter all the questions from audience to ask to the speaker on that day. And finally for reports, and after done the webinar seasons, we will compile our reports to submit to our madam. For our webinar program, which is Office Healthy Lifestyle Practice, led by student class and BSA L8A for the Faculty Business and Management, UiTM Shah Alam, and we invite the speaker, Mr. Firdaus. And we are in technical teams, focused to learn and running the technologies platform we have choose to host this seminar. And other than that, we need to make sure the presenter and audience in understanding the equipment and getting familiar with the platforms, and also we assist with rehearsal for the camera and microphone checks. And finally, we also provide guideline on the preferred angles and consult on how to keep both sides was recorded and live video looking professional during the webinar.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Rahmah Sari binti Hamsan, and in this video, I will explain about WBS. So, what is WBS mean? Work breakdown structure is the tool that utilizes this technique and is one of the most important project management document. It single-handedly integrates scope, cost and schedule baseline, ensuring that project plans are in alignment. So for technical team, we have Shakira for our leaders. So we will go for first level. Okay, first we have a platform, questionnaire, Q&A session and report. For level 2, 1.1, we have record video, backup record video and review and check. Okay, for questionnaire, level 2 we have design and responses. For 3.0 we have Q&A session. For level 2 we have review and filter and liaise with protocol. For lastly we have report. For report, Aida will compile all the report and final report will be prepared by Shakira. For now, that's all from me. I will pass the presentation to the next presenter. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Aina. For my part, I wish to RAMs. How to do RAMs will depend on our WBS. which is we need to copy the details on the table. As you can see in our table, we have project team names, and after transfer the name will be divided in the two types individually, which have P is for primary, is leader at the first board at WBS, and follow up with the S is for supports, will be the assistant for the leaders. This sequence activity table, which firstly we will fill in the table with the keywords only for easy to see for the next steps, and after that we need to copy the information which refers to our WBS activities, and for the time we need to estimate and identify to target to complete our task, and finally for the immediate processes we need to depends on our activity timely.
For network diagram, so the network diagram is a tool for arranging the specific activity in the appropriate sequence defined depends on relationship. As can you see here, our network diagram. Firstly we'll test the evaluation, then go to ensure the stable connection, then go to record sound the video, then control the input. So at the same time we'll go through the verify participant and review, check the progress, then identify the target audience. After that we develop draft questionnaire, then pilot test questionnaire design. So at the same time go through the review, comment and finalize, develop final questionnaire design, handed the questionnaire Google form, then compile all the response. So go to the analyze, then final all the question, then the progress of the report, and then prepare the final report.
So next is a critical path. So a project cannot be completed until the longest path of activities is finished. This longest path is the overall network diagram, which is called critical path. To eliminate the 4 days of slack, the estimated duration of one or more activities on the critical path need to be reduced. Suppose we reduce the estimated duration of final report from 4 days to 2 days. By reducing it, because the estimated duration of an activity on the critical path is being reduced by 2 days. As stated earlier, a large network diagram can have many paths or routes from its beginning to its ends. Some of the paths may have positive value of TS, others may have negative value of TS. Some of the paths may have positive values and negative values. So those paths with positive values of TS have sometimes referred to as non-critical path, whereas those paths with 0 or negative value referred to as critical path. The longest path is often referred to as the most critical path. The figure shows a Gantt chart for the technical team. Activities are listed on the left-hand side and a time scale is shown along the bottom. The estimated duration for each activity is indicated by a bar spanning the period during which the activity is expected to be accomplished. The Gantt chart can be based on the ES and EF times or on the LS and LF times. That's all from me. I will pass the presentation to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi Madam Afni. My name is Nurul Aida binti Umaidi. Now I would like to continue my part is resources requirement plan. A resources requirement plan illustrates the expected utilization of resources by time period during the time of the project. We determine that the planned resources requirement for each member of the project, which is we are required 30 work days of the estimated duration for 17 activity. This is figure shows that estimated required work days for each team and the time period will be utilized. Next is resources utilization for technical team. This figure shows that how many team members are required each day on the early start and early finish time for each activity. The resources requirement graph shows that are based on each activity earliest start time. Such resources requirement graph are said to be based on an as soon as possible schedule. This is to determine whether resource utilization can be level. In our case, the resources level schedule are utilized with less fluctuation. Let's move to the next slide. This shown is our budget for the all activity which is will get accomplished with the amount of cost. At the point, we can rationally determine how to reduce the cost to come up with a TBC within the budget amount. This is done by making decision about how to reduce the estimated cost of all activity. Next is WBS with work package budget in the work breakdown structure for a RM400 Ringgit Malaysia project. The amount for each work package present the TBS for performing and completing all the activity. When the TBS for each work package is spread out by time period, a time-based budget is created so that it can be determined how much of the budget should have been spent. Next is cumulative budget cost for team technical. The CBC is the time-based baseline budget that will be used to analyze the cost performance of the project. The project cost was under control as long as the total actual cost was below RM300 Ringgit Malaysia. That's all for me. Let's move to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. It's my turn to discuss about risk assessment matrix. We will examine the impact, likelihood of occurrence, and degree of impact with low, medium, and high. First, troubleshoot issues. The impact will be low attendance from audiences. The likelihood is medium, but the degree is high. We need to ensure that the network is stable by doing short rehearsal. This was handled by Aina. The response plan would be first, to assist audience who have problem with joining the webinar, and second, to make a backup plan in case the moderator or speaker have network problem. Risk number 2 is timing during webinar. Either the webinar will be short or too long and we didn't get good response in Q&A session. The likelihood of occurrence is M, medium, but the degree is low. Me and Ramah need to stand by the question for the speakers, and our response plan would be always aware of the time run and cut some questions. Risk number 3 is recording limit. The impact will be fail to record the whole webinar and loss of the record of webinar. Aida needs to keep checking the webinar recording and try several times day before webinar. The response plan will be inform backup as soon as possible when notice the recording isn't working. Risk number 4 is limited budget. That couldn't find the best platform that can fulfill all the requirement. The likelihood of occurrence and the degree is low. Shakira need to try and error the best platform that can be record the whole webinar. Check whether the platform can record for the whole webinar can last for 1.5 hours. And lastly, evaluation failure. The impact would be will not get to no feedback from audience or lost the file of the evaluation. The likelihood of occurrence and the degree is both low. We need to always remind the audience to fill the form and make auto-save for the e-form. Thank you.
One of is the managing new task for the technical team. Then next I will identify the best platform. This is very challenging to us, and develop new skill to us also. Then the scary moment to us is during the rehearsal we have a nervous to our team. Then the next is difficult to finding the best platform actually to us. Thank you.
To conclude this presentation, Team Technical have wonderful activities to increase the experience, productivity and happiness of your team member and our success platform using Telegram in webinar. There are so many advantages to think about that platform. Technical team going smooth in every technical happen in the webinar.